provoking reflection on the nature of Satan and the reason for his existence in the divine plan, even after his fall from heaven. The goal is to spark curiosity and prepare the audience for the deeper study that will follow. Engaging opening question. Start with an intriguing question that captures the viewer's attention. Why, with his infinite power, didn't God simply destroy Satan after the rebellion in heaven? If he is so powerful, why did he allow Satan to continue to exist? This question should create a sense of mystery and stir curiosity in the viewer. It will highlight that there is an important reason behind God's decision, and that's what the video will explore. Brief introduction to Satan. Introduce Satan and what he represents within the Christian worldview. He is not just an evil being, but a figure with an origin, purpose, and trajectory. The word Satan means adversary or enemy. He is the opposer, and his role in the universe is to act as an antagonist, not just against humanity, but also against God himself. The name Satan implies a continuous falling process, suggesting that he is constantly becoming more perverted and distancing himself from the light. Symbols of Satan. Briefly touch on the symbolism surrounding Satan, like the dragon or serpent, which are commonly associated with him in the scriptures. The fall of Satan. Satan's beginning in heaven. Explain how Satan began as a high-ranking angel created by God to worship him and serve in his glory. He had a privileged position in heaven. Pride and rebellion. Satan's fall was triggered by pride. He was not content with his position and sought to be equal to or greater than God. Desire for exaltation. Satan tried to exalt himself, wanting to ascend above the stars of God and become like the Most High, as described in Isaiah 14. This desire for exaltation triggered his fall. Satan as the tempter. Satan's role on earth. Present the idea that Satan became the tempter of humanity. Not only did he rebel against God in heaven, but he also seeks to divert humans from God's will. The temptation in Eden. A classic example is the temptation of Eve in the Garden of Eden, where Satan appears as the serpent who deceives humanity, leading them into sin. The enemy of God. Satan is also seen as the accuser in the Bible, as in the case of Job, where he challenges human faithfulness to God. The importance of studying Satan. Purpose of the video. Clarify to the audience that studying Satan is not to glorify or empower him, but to understand how he functions in the divine plan. An important lesson. By understanding Satan's origin, role, and fall, we can better grasp how God even uses wrong choices and evil plans to fulfill his greater purpose. Additionally, this knowledge helps us live more vigilantly and consciously of the spiritual temptations and attacks we face in the world. Prepare the audience for what's next. Now that we have an understanding of who Satan is and what led to his fall, let's explore why God doesn't simply destroy him and what God is doing with Satan in his grand plan of redemption. Summary of the introduction. The introduction serves as the foundation for a deeper study on why Satan still exists despite his rebellion against God. It starts with an intriguing question that provokes reflection, followed by a brief explanation of who Satan is and how he became the tempter of humanity. The introduction sets the stage for a more detailed analysis of the upcoming topics, establishing a theological and spiritual context for the discussion. The beginning of Satan, created as a perfect angel. Creation of Satan. Explain that Satan, originally known as Lucifer, was created by God as a high-ranking angel. He was not created to be evil, but to serve and worship God. Scripture reference. Ezekiel 28 verses 12 to 15. He is described as being perfect in wisdom and beauty. God made him an anointed cherub, and he had a position of honor, walking among the stones of fire, presumably near God. The importance of his perfection. Emphasize that Lucifer was initially a glorious creation of God. His beauty, wisdom, and prominent position in heaven show that he was made for a special purpose. However, this would lead to his downfall. He became arrogant due to his own perfection. Satan's desire to be equal to God. The catalyst for Satan's fall was pride. In his heart, he began to desire more than what God had destined for him. He wanted to be worshipped above all. Biblical reference, Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15. In Isaiah, Satan expresses his desire to exalt himself above God. I will ascend to heaven, above the stars of God, I will set my throne on high. This desire to be equal to or superior to the Creator led to his rebellion. Reason for his fall: Satan wanted to surpass the limits God had set for him. He desired God's glory but was unwilling to serve God, which resulted in his fall. Revolt against God. Satan wasn't alone in his rebellion. He persuaded a significant portion of the angels to join him, forming an army of fallen angels. They rebelled against God, attempting to take over the heavenly throne. The war in heaven. According to Revelation 12 verses 7 to 8, there was a war in heaven between God's loyal angels, led by the archangel Michael, and the angels who followed Satan. The battle was fierce, but there was no chance of success for Satan and his followers. God's dominion was invincible. Result of the war: Satan and his fallen angels were defeated and cast out of heaven. Revelation 12 verse 9 says, "The great dragon was thrown down, that ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world." Expulsion from heaven. After the defeat, Satan was banned from God's presence and cast down to the earth with his fallen angels. This expulsion symbolizes the loss of his exalted position in heaven. Satan's humiliation. Isaiah 14 verse 15 says that Satan, despite his plans to exalt himself, will be cast into Sheol, the abyss, a place of shame and punishment. He failed to achieve his goal of becoming greater than God. Loss of his authority. Satan no longer holds the power or position he once had. His fall resulted in the irreplaceable loss of his place in heaven, and now he has become an enemy of God and humanity. Pride as the root of sin. Satan's fall is a clear example of how pride is the root of sin. He was not content to be a faithful servant of God. He wanted more. This is a warning to us all, showing how pride can destroy us and lead us away from the true mission of serving God. Scriptural reference, Proverbs 16 verse 18, pride goes before destruction. Satan's fall dramatically illustrates this truth. Lesson for humanity. Satan's story teaches us that the pursuit of power and exaltation above God is the greatest form of sin. Satan's pride led to his destruction, and this lesson applies to everyone, both spiritually and in everyday life. If you'd like, I can continue the translation for the rest of the document or adjust anything here. Let me know how you'd like to proceed.